Evolution is one of the most interesting and at the same time debated ideas. It is the idea that creatures of all kinds constantly changes from one form to another and with the passage of time. The idea has become fairly mainstream, but there are many who still question it, and in fact, there are many people in the world who don't believe the theory of evolution either. Regardless, given our list today are the 10 things about evolution that you might find interesting.
Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Number 10. Human evolution is still going on today. Many people think that evolution takes millions of years or at least thousands of years, and it is a very slow process to track. But scientists have discovered they can now be able to track the genetic shifts in real time. Thanks to the technology and advancement, it may seem like humans have already completed the evolutionary process. This is, however, just an illusion, and it's because evolution is a continuous process. It's driven by mutation in the genetic code, which gets transmitted to a next generation without exception. While the inheritance of a few mutations doesn't really mean much, the constant occurrence of mutation and their subsequent accumulation eventually leads to the rise of new species. In other words, as long as the mutation and inheritance process goes on, the evolution will continue. Number 9. Genetic engineering may allow us to guide our own evolution. Genetic engineering is the process of altering the genetic code of an organism to produce the desired effect. It's a branch of science that has been used in the past and is being still used today and will continue for a very long time. At the same time, though, the process of genetic modification is still under research and will take time to be perfect. But once it is perfected, it is possible that science can be used to change the genetic code of future generations. Instead of waiting for thousands or even millions to get the desired change, this change can be created in as little as a single generation alone. In other words, we may be able to steer our own evolution in the near future. Number 8. Transhumanism is one of the proposed evolutionary levels for human beings. This is most certainly not related to natural evolution, but something similar. There are people who believe that natural evolution is too slow and the best evolutionary strategy is to accelerate it with the help of machines. In other words, to create a new race of humanity called cyborgs that are suggested that people should merge with the machines. The idea is what today is called transhumanism. Transhumanism is a theory about a human evolving beyond the current physical and mental capabilities. It could also be achieved using emerging and futuristic technologies. Though it should be noted that the concept refers largely to machines but can extend to other aspects of science and technology as well. Number 7. Vestigial body parts are a relic of historical evolution. One of the best proofs of evolution can be found in the vestigial body parts. These are body parts that can be found in the body which seems to serve no particular purpose but did so not too long ago in the past. For example, the human appendix used to help early humans to digest grass. Today, however, it is useless. Other animals like cows and sheep which eat grass on a regular basis have functioning appendices. Likewise, the webbing between human fingers is a relic of humanity's aquatic ancestor. There was a time when the ancestor of humans, which was likely a frog-like creature, lived in water and used webbed feet and hands to move about. Continuing with number 6, humans likely contain some amount of Neanderthal DNA. Numerous human subspecies existed alongside modern humans for a very long time ago, and among them were the Neanderthals. Today, the Neanderthals are extinct. However, a part of the Neanderthal DNA may be present in modern humans, particularly those who live in places like Europe and Asia. According to studies and researches, it is believed that humans have 20% of Neanderthal DNA. The Neanderthal DNA in humans is found in skin, hair, and nails. Even the modern disease among humans have close relation to Neanderthal DNA. The theory has been proposed that at one point in human history when humans and Neanderthals were living together, some of them mixed with modern humans and passed on their genes. This is still being studied, and with the passage of time we will be able to find out more. Number 5. Early human embryos are similar to those of other animals. The embryo of all animals is essentially alike during the early stages of formation until the 8th week after conception. The unborn child is still called embryo, and after the 8th week, the embryo becomes a fetus. In other words, the embryo of a human is no different than that of a dog, chicken, or fish during the first few weeks of pregnancy. This is because all animals evolved from the same ancestors millions of years ago, meaning all the animals, including humans, carry the same ancient genes, so many of the living organisms on Earth are related to each other and share the same development phase. Number 4. Evolution works along the principle of survival of the fittest. The way that evolution works is alongside a principle of survival of fittest. The biological process of evolution is governed by a simple yet powerful phrase given by Darwin. Fossil records across the globe are proofs that this theory is pretty much real. In other words, this is a reference to the fact that a species will only survive if it is fit enough. In case it isn't, then the selective process will eliminate it through factors like predators, diseases, and so on. Every species struggles to survive, but the strongest one actually survives by the process of natural selection. This phrase is from Darwinian evolution theory. It was first used by Charles Darwin in the book on the origin of species. Number 3. The theory of evolution was first proposed by Charles Darwin. The modern-day theory of evolution was proposed by an English naturalist named Charles Darwin. He was a biologist and naturalist who made pioneering contributions toward the science of evolution. Darwin's contribution significantly influenced the scientific community in history and influences even now, and he made his contribution through an important book in history. He made his theories public in his whole book on the origin of species, which was first published in the year 1859. This book talks about natural selection among species of organisms, the naturally strong, competent, and powerful organisms' survivals. The theory of evolution is also called the Darwinian theory. The theory explains that all species changes over time and give rise to a new species and share a common parent. Number 2. Darwin came up with the theory by evolution of observing birds. Darwin came up with the theory of evolution when he started to study the finches on an island called Galapagos in the Pacific Ocean. These finches were later called as Darwin finches. There are a group of 15 species of perching birds which are known for their remarkable diversity in beak formation and function. He also noticed that the finches had uniquely adapted to their environmental and theorized the environmental changes led to a specialization of species, though a process which he referred to as evolution. Number 1. Humans have tails before they were born. An average person may not have a tail, but that doesn't mean that they didn't at one point in history. Actually, the fact is that whole humans are born with a tail, and during pregnancy, the fetus shows characteristics of a tail which vanishes over time. This feature of human beings is one of the most interesting of all vestigial organs in humans. Once a baby is born, the tail would have shrunk almost entirely, but there are times when babies are born with these vestigial tails that are removed through surgeries. The existence of tailbone among mammals acts as proof that humans had tails even before evolving into modern human beings. So, to put it further, the conclusion, the theory of evolution and how humans have evolved is one of the most interesting aspects of science in the world, but from the very nature of the idea itself, with how it colors the world with diversity, it is one aspect of biology that is worth knowing about. Many things about human evolution are mind-boggling and mysterious, and it will so unless we discover the truth. So that's it for today. Till next time.